Good morning, beautiful souls. This is Kim Parkinson with Podcasting for Spiritual Women. And today I am going to be bringing you an implementation episode. So I call these implementation because last week we had a conversation with Laurie Bains of Just Be You Creative, and she offered us her brand clarity scorecard. I took that scorecard and then I did the exercises within the offer that she gave us. It is a free offer. So if you have not partaken in that, I do highly recommend, if you need any brand clarity, to go ahead and check that out. So this is a PDF basically, and it's a self-assessment tool to uncover some brand misalignments. And she looks at 9 essential areas, and then you can confidently evolve your brand, attract aligned clients, and lead with clarity. That is basically what it says on the beginning or the front of the PDF. Now, I did take this. It took me several weeks to actually go through it. And that's because it takes a lot of thought, a lot of reflection, just some ideas that she sparks that you might have to kind of reevaluate in your own personal business. Now, it is set up in 3 phases. So each page, there's a different phase. Phase 1 is root and reflect. Phase 2 is align and activate. And then phase 3 is express and embody. And at the end, there is a scorecard that she has you kind of like give a little reflection, a true reflection on, that you would, either score yourself a yes, a sort of, or a no. And so, of course, yeses are the best. Everybody wants a yes, right? And I found myself, I had a lot of yeses and I had a couple of sort ofs. So, those are really some interesting pieces to kind of take a look at. And I loved that the questions that she asks within this document, and not just the questions that she asks, but the actual definition of the question that she asks is really thought provoking. The first question, reflection, was define your vision. Now, I have always had a vision where I've helped soul led women entrepreneurs with their podcast and their messaging. But I will say that this has only been more clearly defined for me within the last year, within 2025 itself. Prior to 2025, I was an OBM, I was a VA, I was a website designer. And to be honest with you, a lot of those clients will come back to me for small tweaks, small updates, or just maybe like a separate project that doesn't have anything to do with podcasting. So that I do have, I would say, maybe a subgenre of clientele that, even though they fit, they're still soul-led women entrepreneurs. They don't fit in the podcasting. But I guess maybe they fit in the messaging most of the time. But it was interesting for me to take a look at the vision that I have about and surrounding being a podcast growth coach, and where I have grown since even 6 months ago, and making sure that that vision that I have was accurate to now. And again, everything, as she mentioned, everything can be changed as I feel that I change, as the business evolves. And it was just a great exercise to really ground myself and to connect with what the true vision of who I am and where I want my business to go in the future. And so that was a great reflection. All of these root and reflect in the phase 1 are reflection questions. She goes into what no longer fits you. And then she also aligns your brand. And all of these questions, again, were just really thought provoking, and they needed meditation time. And they needed you to really give that true reflection and that true thought of what it is that you want for not only yourself, but for your business as well. And then the second phase, the alignment and activate or align and activate phase, really went into three questions that were about alignment. And I also had a sort of here as well. So it was again really interesting. The questions or the phrases and how she asks them really give you that, hmm, I am going to maybe review this a little bit more. Some of my offers have evolved. Actually, a lot of my offers have evolved. Let's face it, we all evolve as we go. The world evolves. I mean, even some of my past clients that were six, seven, eight-figure money makers, they are doing things different. I see their emails come through and they have let go of different things. And so we're always aligning our businesses to what is being called to us and what is being called for us. A lot of this was auditing your brand, the offers that you have, the platforms, the touch points. And one thing I do know that I am lacking in is that touch point. While I work with one on one clients through Voxer and through email, I find that I don't always have that additional touch point after you're done with your initial offer. And so that really got my brain thinking. And as you know, once you have really kind of started to think about that, it just builds until maybe you can either come up with a different solution or you come up with something that is just a little bit more tweaked. So those are still in the works for right now. But during this alignment phase, what I found was that my own methodologies, my own coaching, and how I coach people is actually very aligned with the podcast growth process. Podcast growth isn't typically overnight success. It is typically something that you have to work on and be consistent at. Just realizing this and how I am as a coach, that alignment was really super valuable to me. And it was not something I expected from a brand clarity scorecard offer. So it was just an added bonus in there. The last little section, the phase three, is to express and embody. And this does go a little bit more into your visuals. She talked about branding is a lot more than just your colors, your fonts, your logo. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that because it is really truly what is inside of you that you are bringing out. We talked a little bit about personal brand in episode 29. And I really feel like now more than ever, personal brand is super important. And people are finding that they need to have that personal brand in addition to their business brand or in conjunction if they're married together, something that it just works in a cohesive manner. And I really feel that a lot of my clientele specifically have a tendency to be well known by their first name, by their given name, by their chosen name, and less by their business name. We all want to be able to be seen and heard. And that is only done through personal branding and staying true to ourselves, true to our values, true to our missions. And this PDF, this offer really excels in getting you to think about where you want to go and what you want to do in the future. So I highly recommend that you go ahead and download that offer. I'll put it in the show notes again. It is actually on her website. You can go all the way to the bottom. You just fill out the little form there. It's emailed right directly to you. And then you can take the assessment as well. It's 9 questions, 9 reflection questions. My suggestion is grab it and grab your journal and just go to town and I wouldn't work on all 9 of them at once either. I would definitely sit, reflect, meditate, and review because this isn't just about an offer, a free offer that Laurie is offering you here. this is really truly about your brand. It's really truly about your life, your energetic abilities to bring forth yourself, your offers, and your modalities, whatever it is that you are doing to help people in this world. Every personal brand and business brand should have some idea of what they want, where they want to find clients, and how to attract those clients. And I believe just the nine, I'm going to even call them maybe journal prompts, 9 journal prompts that she offers you in this offer is truly reflective and truly a great way to really find the root of what you're looking for. I just wanted to kind of go over this implementation episode. I love having the opportunity to bring you more guests in the future, but I don't want to just give you a guest and then say to you, you know what? That guest was 3 episodes ago, and I don't have anything else to say about that guest. Because ultimately, it's not just about finding the perfect guest for your podcast, but it's also about finding the perfect guest for your listeners. And if I can bring guests on that will offer you, the listener, something to really grow and just become more magnetic, then that's really part of what I want to achieve for not just the podcast, not just for my business, but for my personal life too. I really want women to succeed. I really want people to just be able to find what it is that they are really good at and excel at it and make money with it. And I have taken something that she's offered us and I have done something with it. And I'm sharing that with you so that in true clarity and true honesty, I can say that this is something that I feel is aligned with my audience, is aligned with you, is aligned with what I'm trying to help you achieve with your podcast, with your business, with your spiritual practices. So I hope that you take advantage of this particular offer that she has for you and really, really put some reflection and some truth into it for yourself and your business. That is my first implementation episode. I absolutely thought that these were a great not only interview, but again, just a great exercise in the next phase, the next thing to do with your guest, right? Your guests don't have to just be drop a guest and then go. They can be somebody that maybe you even bring back on your episode again and again. So we'll dive into that, I think, maybe a little bit more next week. But I just wanted to give you this information and hopefully, where your voice flows, your business grows. Until next week, talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Podcasting for Spiritual Women. If you would like more strategy and tips and some tricks on how to make your podcast better, I recommend that you join my newsletter list. You can find that at kpcreativemedia.com/newsletter. Until next time.